Hey everyone. We are going to give a second for this live to kind of kick in. But welcome to the first Boss Fight Live we've done in a minute. I'm Meredith. I have Katrina with me. And
Hello.
we are going to talk Strawberry Shortcake today. And before we jump in, we do stream across a couple different platforms. So we stream to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now. So whichever place you're watching, you are welcome to comment, and we'll see things come in and we can answer questions in live time. But Strawberry, we haven't talked about this for a minute. I think the last time we did a live was when we announced the Strawberry brand a year and a half ago.
Might have been. Might have been an update after that because we definitely talked about characters during maybe our anniversary.
We did one during the anniversary. You are correct, but it's been a bit.
It's been a bit, yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk all things Strawberry. First up, if you haven't noticed Trina's wall behind her, she is an ultimate Strawberry collector. So I think we talked about this in the very first live stream we did. This is your favorite line and this was your passion, like the one you wanted to pick up, correct?
Yes and no. I mean, it's my favorite, yes, and my passion, but I was very nervous about picking it up because it's a brand I didn't want to pick up until I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it because it had to be perfect for me. I didn't want to get a brand just because I love it and then make the wrong thing.
All right. So we picked up Strawberry and you knew what you wanted to do with it. Do you want to give like a quick overview, kind of just bringing people back up to speed on where we were before I show images?
Sure. So I'm a collector of a lot of action figures, like the white shelves down are not Strawberry Shortcake, pink up are Strawberry Shortcake. So this is a question that has plagued me since I started designing toys over a decade ago. Like, what would I do with Strawberry Shortcake if I ever had the opportunity? And nothing ever really felt right because I love classic Strawberry Shortcake and they're beautiful. They're perfect. So you have to do that brand justice. And I started collecting into some lines that were doing some really lovely play into the nostalgia area, but kind of giving it a modern articulation, technology, and visuals, but never really losing the classic look of the brands. Fig arts, things like that. We're doing some licenses like that. And so playing with my toys one day, I was like, I think I'm ready for this. I think I'd like to make action figures proper out of Strawberry Shortcake dolls. Because they're two very different things, even though we were trying to really represent what the dolls look like.
And I'm going to show this up on screen so you can continue talking about it, but they are in hand. These action figures are amazing. I think everybody who's held them and kind of started playing with them has really just been like, oh my God, these are fun. I can play with this. Do you want to talk a little bit about the difference between the action figures and the dolls and some of the cool things you brought into the action figure line?
Yeah, sure. So obviously I had Strawberry Shortcake when I was a kid, and loved her. Like, she was the thing I really played with as a kid. But I also had a brother who had G.I. Joe, who had Kenner Star Wars, and things like that. And so I played with those as well. And I always felt like what I would really love, even as a kid, I would have really loved it if Strawberry Shortcake had bendable knees and bendable elbows, like a G.I. Joe, to sit on her trike properly and pedal her bike. Or the other thing that always confused me was that the classic Strawberry Shortcake, she had holes in her feet for a stand and didn't really have a stand where the boys' toys did. So there were little things that from those pieces I kind of carried into my career as an adult designer. And when I decided to translate Strawberry directly to action figure, we made sure that she was articulated to get into any pose she wanted so that you can display her doing whatever she would do in Berryland, like holding custard like in the photo or sitting on one of her accessories. And it's just being able to pose a figure can give it so much life. And I feel like that's what making an action figure out of a doll can do for you, is give that character just a new life.
And one of the things that I found was, and I didn't expect this going in, but I love being able to, pose her in different ways, but also give her different facial expressions. So, and you can kind
Yeah.
of see different facial expressions here. Let's talk about the face plates.
Okay, so the face plates are a lot of fun because, like, you can see even in the images, those are two of her different face plates. I've actually got Orange Blossom here with her faces, and she comes with her basic smiling, happy little face. And then if she wants to be extra happy, she's got this like very pleased, closed eyes face. But Orange Blossom is also a painter. And so if she wants to be concentrating while she's painting, she would need this face where she's got her tongue out, one of her eyes closed, she's very focused. So that being able to swap out the expressions and the faces on something like this really can give your toy a new character. And it's something that action figures as a collectible has had for so long. This by no means is something we invented. But I think some of the old girls lines, My Little Pony, Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Bright, if they've never been brought into this world of action figures, it's something that those collectors have never been able to experience. So it's something new and confusing, like, why would you do this? But it's also something that really adds a lot to a figure.
Yeah, we're seeing people getting their toys and loving them. A couple comments from the different platforms on that. So that kind of brings us into why we're talking Strawberry today. And that is that Strawberry pre-orders have shipped. They arrived in our warehouse. I think, Katrina, you had one of the best comments as we were unloading that container, and the smell just we opened those container doors, the smell wafted over everyone. You want to talk about that?
It was kind of an incredible moment because, obviously my office is full of Strawberry Shortcake. It smells like Strawberry Shortcake in here. So I had test smelled all the toys before they made them. It's a weird process. But I knew when we unloaded 40 feet worth of a closed container that had been sealed in the heat since it left China 45 days prior, 60 days prior. I knew that it was going to smell like Strawberry Shortcake. But we all were standing behind the container when they opened the door. And I'm not kidding. It opened and the air was like this burst of strawberry air. It was like nothing I could have ever expected.
I swear, if it had been colored, it would have been like that cartoon cloud just coming out.
And I was prepared for it to smell, but this was just so intense.
So for those of you who are wondering, it was so much fun unloading this. And then the other thing we didn't expect was the bees really liked me.
Yes, I didn't see that coming. The bees really loved the Strawberry Shortcake boxes. They were really attracted to the smell, and I guess I never would have even considered that to be something we had to think about ever in my career making toys, that the bees might get involved.
Right? It was insane, but it was so much fun. So let's show off the boxed ones before we talk about kind of the future of Strawberry Shortcake with Boss Fight, because we do have some exciting news to share with you guys. But I want to show off the boxes because these are so much fun. And looks like Trina's got a bunch in her office as well.
I have boxes.
And they do smell delightful. So Strawberry, and you can see it's a very deluxe set. It's all the swappable face plates and all the accessories. How did you decide what accessories to bring in? Because the amount of accessories is insane, but they're so cute and so well done, and they're just delightful.
I got a lot of inspiration across the board. Like, because I've been a Strawberry fan for 40 years, I had a lot of history to pull from. So obviously the designs were taken mostly from the dolls, the classic dolls themselves. But then there were other pieces like Huckleberry Pie coming with his fishing pole and fish was directly taken from a little PVC mini. Orange Blossom being a painter with her easel was from a deluxe mini, and some illustrations, like she has been represented as an artist. These little ice cream bowls that come with it came from a little play set. There's a little play set with a snail and a picnic cart that came with ice cream on bowls, and that kind of morphed into these little, everybody comes with a little bowl of ice cream and a spoon. And other things came from comic books, came from animation, just artwork that Strawberry had provided us in their style guide that I maybe hadn't seen before. But I tried to make every piece matter so that it would be recognizable to someone who knew Strawberry Shortcake like I did. Lime Chiffon's balloons there came from a PVC mini.
And they're just so amazing in person. So many different ways to pose them and play with them. And it's just, I've had a lot of fun. So those are the boxes. I'll kind of go back through them just because I did that quickly. So you got Strawberry, Orange Blossom, Lime Chiffon, and Huckleberry Pie. That was wave 1. You are ready to talk about wave 2 for these avid fans?
I mean, I guess if anybody cares what's in wave 2.
Yes, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up emojis. So I think the answer is we should talk about wave 2.
Okay.
You want to go through these, Trina?
Sure. This is Raspberry Tart, who will, of course, come with her friend Rhubarb Monkey.
Okay. And
Blueberry Muffin. She's one of my favorites and probably the most requested character, basic Strawberry character. Obviously, there's a huge love for, some villains. Lemon Meringue and Frappe Frog.
I kind of love that the frog is named Frappe.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that name. I didn't retain that from when I was little. So, and I think the last one might be the most exciting.
Apple Dumpling, who comes with a new baby-sized body. She is much shorter than the others, but we still tried to give her the same articulation. And I haven't seen the final model of her yet. I'm really hoping I can get her into a crawling position. But we'll see.
So we're seeing a lot of people getting excited here. Blueberry Muffin is a favorite.
Yep. Every time I see this image of Apple Dumpling, I just have to call out our sculptor on this, because I give them a drawing and Fred is just so good at sculpting exactly what I have in mind, even if I haven't drawn it exactly how I want it to look. And he did such a good job of getting what I wanted, the curls of Apple Dumpling, who's like a baby toddler, but that curly hair that toddlers have that kind of throughout the day loosens a little bit. He just did such a good job.
Seeing some requests for plum pudding.
She's
lots of characters. Yep. And I think we're seeing one request more than others. Will we eventually see villains? Do you want me to show one more thing?
I think you should show 2 more things.
Well, yes. They're on one slide. I might have been doing these slides last minute, guys. So there are some really exciting things coming. We're seeing everybody very excited. But wave 2, that's real soon, right? We're kicking things off.
It's heading to the factory today, literally, and pre-orders we're expecting to come up by the end of the month. Am I right about that?
Yes. And we've worked with the factory, kind of the longest process. We were kind of working through a bunch of things, including scents and things that we had not played with before. So these will come up a little bit quicker.
Yep. Yep. The first wave, I mean, the first wave of anything always takes a little more time because there are a lot of issues that you have to deal with. The factory, like we've never done a scented toy, so there's an extra step of approval. Like we smell the scent first, we decide how much it needs. The licensor has to approve the scent. The factory has to formulate the scent. So just that small piece added a whole new part to our process. And then any new line requires engineering, requires comments on how it should feel, the plastic and everything from the factories. Then the second waves go faster. And then the third waves go faster. So it's just, we always expect our first wave to take a little bit of time. And after that, we can get on a smooth roll. So we expect 2 to come. And then the villains are far along. They're going to be very close to wave 2.
Yeah. I think you guys will be really excited with how quickly you see things come out at this point. So I see lots and lots of comments. The whole line looks amazing. We're real excited that you guys, we'll do one more show of the wave 2 stuff. So we got apple dumpling and lemon meringue, and that hat, Trina. Oh my God.
Right.
And
the hats are the best part of making these action figures because mostly they've been cloth in the past. So to have them look like their illustrations has been fun.
Yes. And raspberry tart. Oh my goodness, that clear popsicle. I love it.
Jen asked a question here about making a boy or a girl. Honestly, I would love to do them both. If they'll let me do them both, I would love to do them both. So that will, the end result of that will be up to the licensor because we have to answer to them, but I want both versions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, these are fun. And I see retailers saying that they're waiting at the store. That's exciting. Can't wait to see these on your shelf. Make sure you like snap pics and tag us in them because we love seeing them on shelves. Yeah, these are really, really fun toys. So wave 1, the pre-orders are all out. You should have received an email from us with tracking. I know a lot of people have already received them, kind of depending on the shipping method that you selected. And the in stock are going live now, right?
Yep. And our in-stock product generally ships within, I mean, honestly, most of the time he ships same day, but within 3 days.
Yeah. So really, really fun. Let's see. Love it. Just opened my first wave last night and they're so much fun. Oh, that's great. Let's see. Will the second wave pre-orders be available from stockists in Australia? That's a really great question for your local store. We do have distribution in Australia. So go talk to your store. Make sure you're asking for them to carry it. And we'll see who picks up what. Lots of getting them very recently, which is great. So I hope everybody's rooms are smelling like strawberry and orange and lime and huckleberry.
Yeah. We have stages of smell in our whole, we have a fairly large warehouse now. It already smells pretty strongly of berries down there. So it's a good change from the dusty box smell.
It's really nice. So you get like Trina's office for like all the vintage strawberry that still smells however many years later. We won't say how many years because
we all know how many years.
And then you get like the warehouse where you just get like all of it. And then with like the little display that we have in the conference room, it's just like overpowering and it's great. So much fun. So I hope everybody's houses are smelling great. So just to recap, wave 2 that we just showed off, by end of month, people can kind of expect to see exciting things in pre-orders coming. And then the other things to come, some potential villains in the mix shortly thereafter, not far thereafter. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of exciting strawberry news. Dropping product, releasing images of wave 2 and the following wave tease. So it's a lot. We thank everybody who joined us live. We kind of did this as a last minute surprise. I know a lot of more people will continue to watch the replay on whichever platform and kind of continue to comment. We'll do our best to answer your comments on the various streaming platforms. If it's not live, it might take us a little bit to get back to it, but we definitely will answer as many questions as we can. And keep your eye out for wave 2. And if you haven't ordered your wave 1, go get them now. No reason to wait. All right. Well, thanks, Trina, so much for sharing looks at the future of strawberry. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. And we will talk to you very soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.